Hey, what's up, Shining Otaku? It's Irvin here, and this is Shining Spotlight, the stream where we highlight creatives in order to inspire you guys. Today, we have a special group of voice actors, the cast members from the cast of the brand new audio series Cerulean Summer. This is actually going to be a first for Shining Otaku today because, of course, we've never interviewed an entire cast, so I'm really appreciative to Keiko of MLA Entertainment for the opportunity to do this today. But we have on, of course, I'm going to go down the list. Of course, we have, Melissa Del Toro Schaffner, who voices the protagonist Minny. We have Blake Cogdill on here, who does the main role of the voice of Trace. Caden Yungwirth, who does the voice of Gramma. Then we also have Rich Summers, who plays Papa, and Chloë Elmore, who plays Sandra. So thank you guys for coming on. Oh man,
you're welcome.
It's great to be here.
Our pleasure.
There's a whole lot to say about when you have projects like this, which for the audience, just to let you guys know in a little bit, we will play the trailer to it too, because there is a trailer out there for this. This actually came out on my birthday, September 25th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Keiko timed that perfectly. That was specifically timed.
Oh, yes. So like what I'm curious about, of course, before we can, would someone take just a moment to maybe give like the summary of like what Cerulean Summer is about? Of course, if I can say it myself because I actually have the summary here, but I would prefer it if maybe we could hear it from one of the castmates.
I'll go. Is that okay?
Of course.
Yes.
I am Minny after all. Now, so Cerulean Summer is about it tracks the story of 16-year-old Minny, who is the daughter of archaeologists, and she's been traveling all her life, and she's kind of tired of it. So she ends up staying for the summer in a town called Cerulean with her grandparents, Caden and Rich, actually, Mama and Papa, or Grandma and Papa, and she meets a terminally ill teenage boy her age named Trace. That is Blake. And Chloë is Trace's mom. Actually, Sandra is Trace's mom. And so the story follows their friendship, and then they meet a mysterious little girl, my daughter Indy, who is Charlotte. She's 10 in the story, and that's all I can say about her. It's a crazy, magical kind of town, so we get to exploring.
One thing I can say is that I really like the name Cerulean, and obviously, I know when Cerulean is like connected to color blue, but the reason why I like Cerulean, I don't know if any of you guys are like Pokemon fans, but that's instantly what I just started thinking of as Cerulean City. Like I almost started wanting to sing like the what is it? There's like a song from like the first season of Pokemon, like where it's like Cerulean City, I'm on the road. I'm not going to sing the whole thing, but yeah, that's what I think of when I don't know if I'm pretty sure some of the people who probably are watching that probably think of that too. Like that, like if you grew up with Pokemon, then it comes to head. But in any case, just to kind of center back on when you guys started doing this, like what got you involved with this particular project? So I want to start with, I'm going to start with you, Rich.
Okay. Truth be told, Keiko came to me, and I think probably like I mentioned this before. I think she did a Google search on the oldest voice actor she could find on the internet, and that was me. So kind of by default. But she came to me, and she'd heard some of my work. I've done several commercial spots, video game characters, and things like that. And she heard that, and she just liked the texture, the natural rasp and grit and gravitas in my voice, and asked me if I would play Papa. And I really didn't know much about Keiko at that point, so I did a little due diligence and did some checking, and I'm going like, okay, this is pretty cool. So here I am.
Yay.
Okay. And then what about you, Blake?
So prior to Cerulean Summer, I had actually been a student of Keiko's for about a year and a half, I'll say. I've been taking regular classes with her since I think around April 2024, every Friday on the dot, 8:30 p.m. since then. And we're still going. We're good doing it today after this.
Wow.
So I had learned that she was creating this new project after looking at her other works, and it captivated me. So I figured, okay, well, I have to send in an audition. I have to at least try. And the rest is history. I think it was 2 or 3 sessions later that she asked me, hey, can you turn your camera on? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, I can do that. And then she says, oh, do you want to record this? I'm like, I think I know what's going on, probably. And then she gives me the role of Trace on camera, and it's wonderful. And I was absolutely floored. That's my story anyway.
Nice. So, like, when you took on this opportunity, when she actually did that, and had you kind of come on and you had to record that, what did that process look like after the fact? So, like, did you have to do like a certain number of takes, or like, what did it look like?
That was purely just raw emotion and unfiltered going through the full thing, because you can't really, once you learn it's kind of like I'm not sure if you know the video of Matt Mercer learning that he's playing Vincent Valentine in the remakes of Final Fantasy VII, but they trolled him good with that one. You can only really capture that once before they're like, oh, I know what's going on here. Which was the same for me, granted much less on the scale, but still a very, very important character in terms of story.
Okay. All right. So, Chloe, you probably knew I was coming to you next, because I'm kind of going from the bottom up right now.
I love that. Yeah. So, honestly, it was just a cold email from Keiko. It was, usually this never happens, by the way. This never happens. If there are any brand new voice artists out there thinking that someone's just going to hand an audition or even a role on a play to you, this never happens. 0.001% of the time. So usually I'm hustling, auditioning and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I just randomly got this email from Keiko saying, I've found your work and I'm interested in auditioning you for, this character. Actually, I think I auditioned for Minny as well as Sandra. And first of all, I was like, I'm always suspicious of cold outreaches. It is always too good to be true. So I Googled her, like, is this a scam? Is this person Keiko a scam? Sorry, Keiko, if you're watching this. You just have to be careful this day and age.
Or maybe even AI.
Exactly, right. And so
everywhere.
Yeah. So I Googled and I think I found people going like, oh, finding out she had a good reputation and finding out that like lots of people were like, oh, I wish I could get into like a Keiko production kind of thing. I'm like, who is this person? And how on earth did she find me? I do not know. You don't Google New Zealand voice actor for this American mom. But my archetypes are what I've heard. My archetype is a dommy mommy, and if there's a dommy mommy in cozy audio drama land, it is Sandra. And so she's probably heard some of my dommy mommy roles, and it was like, yeah. So anyway, I auditioned, but I don't think I actually needed to audition. I think she was just like, offered me the role anyway. And so it was really an effortless. Apart from when we actually started to record, that had effort. But the process of getting Sandra was pretty effortless. Very grateful.
All right, and then how about you, Caden? How was the process for you when it comes to getting involved with this project?
Well, for me, it was a post on Twitter from Keiko just saying, talking about this project, and if you want to audition, here's the characters we're going for. And as I sadly am old enough to be a grandma and am a grandma, and yeah, that's the one I went for. And apparently she liked me, because then she cast me for the show. That was it. Oh yeah, I did, like the others, check her out on the Twitter and dig into her, make sure again it was legit. Yeah, there's a lot of weird things on that Twitter.
Oh yeah, I'm like, everything you guys are saying. I mean, I know what you mean. In terms of like having to check something to make sure. I'm like, is this legit? Is it too good to be true? Or I mean, you see all kinds of stuff on the internet. Especially, I'm not a big Twitter person, but like I see enough on Facebook and Instagram and all those other ones. So, all right, so. Now, first you, Melissa, and then we have to hear from Indy.
Okay. Then I won't be able to tell too much because, well, I was kind of instrumental in dragging her into this project.
That's how I get into most of my stuff.
So I too received an email from Keiko. I don't have Twitter, so I would never have known about this, and I've never used Discord before. That's how we do a lot of our casting work. But apparently, this must be an insight into her process, right, guys? How she works finding the people that she's looking for. But she was sort of, I guess, Googling podcasts, and I was at the time doing an original short story sci-fi podcast, and she was listening to all the episodes of Untold Tales. It's a podcast I hosted, narrated, and produced. So she was listening to the stories and the way that I tell stories. And apparently that really resonated with her because she reached out to me and she said, hey, I would like you to audition for this project that's coming up for this role, for the role of Minny. She said, your tone is sort of exactly in the line of what I'm looking for, but I would like you to audition. So I said, cool. Just like the others, I went to see if she's a crazy person, like what, because that does not happen. That process, she loves this project so much that she must have really just scoured to find. And if you see the pictures of the characters, like they're exactly us. So it's really spooky. Like not only the story, but like everything about this is really magical.
I found my character and I was just like, wait a minute. Because it looks like exactly like me, just without the blue in it in its hair, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah. So I submitted my audition to her, and then like the others, she listened to anybody who had auditioned, and I made the cut for the project. After that, I said, hey, Keiko, I see in the specs that there's a 10-year-old girl and I have a daughter. And since I'm already going to be recording, it might be good, because I can direct her from my booth. And so she was like, yeah, send her audition in. And of course, now you tell your part of the story.
So basically, my mom came up to me and she was just like, hey, do you want to do this audio drama that I'm gonna be in? And I'm just like, sure, because honestly, why not? I did not I didn't know what to think of it because I've never been in anything bigger than her podcast.
Yeah.
And even then I have 3 lines and then I just kind of leave and don't do anything else.
She had a cute baby voice, so she did all the kid voices.
But this time, I usually she'll ask me to do something and I'll just be like, yeah, sure. But this time, I wasn't expecting it to be like this. I just thought I would have 2 lines and then be done with, be a background character or something. Much to my surprise.
Plus, Indy can read at 9. She's 9, and she's been able to read at a pretty high grade,
like a 10th grade level, I think.
Yeah.
9.
So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she
That's
reads
amazing.
I actually skipped.
You skipped 2nd grade.
I skipped 2nd grade because of my reading level.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
she's able to just read these scripts and emote while she's reading, and I'm just like.
I'll be reading it the first time, and as I read it, I'm just kind of processing the words, and they're just coming back out of my mouth.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
So she
amazing.
doesn't overthink. She does not overthink, and I am so jealous.
Natural.
I'll just be reading the script, and if I don't like that take, I have more, so I can just do it again, and I've already read the script.
Mhm.
So I'll know like what it's asking
Mhm.
for.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So like, when you and your mom like record together, do you basically have any times where you're how would I say do you have to collaborate with her in terms of like figuring out, hey, this is how I should say this line, or how do you guys practice together is I guess where I'm getting at.
We don't.
Really?
We don't.
I'm surprised.
No, I don't. I do not tell her what to do, and even if I tried, that is not a thing.
If
So-
you tried, I would leave the room and come back when my lines were.
Wow.
So-
Okay.
Strong women raising strong women.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, self-sufficiency.
Yeah, she makes really smart choices anyways. She doesn't need a whole lot of direction anyway, but sometimes, if we yell too loud and it clips, I might say, oh, that clipped, you have to do it again. Or, I might suggest to her, maybe laugh a little more or something, just something I would.
Like small suggestions.
Yeah.
Like maybe you could tweak that a little bit, but that it's not like you have to redo that entire line with a completely different tone. You did terrible.
No, I would never tell her that anyways, because it's actors, privilege to act as you would in the situation. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I want to start kind of talking a little bit about that. So like from working on a big project like this, many of us who, most of the people who probably watch the show that are watching, some of them are into voice acting and they're interested in this process. But what does that look like when you're on the other end? Like, do you guys, when you're working with like Keiko, for example, on Cerulean Summer, do you just send in like your lines to her, or do you basically jump on Discord and do you record like where you guys can hear each other talking at the same time? Like, what does that look like?
Quite frankly, it's like this. We're all there, and she directs, and we just go through the scenes, scene by scene, and do our thing. It's really pretty easy peasy when it the way she structures it, and everybody handles their roles, and we've never had in the 2 episodes that we've recorded so far, we've never had any issues where we had to go back and redo a certain scene 3, 4, 5 times before it got where she liked it. So we've all been lucky in that sense, I think. And she's a great director. So if she hears something she wants tweaked a little bit, she'll tell us.
It's I think for all of us here who do voice acting, it's quite rare to kind of get full cast audio dramas. For me, it's like, I don't know, 5% of the time. For audio dramas, it's a bit more common. For things like video games, it's not common. For other things, it's really not common. You just do your own piece. You either send it in, remotely. You record it solo. You self-direct, and then you send it off, and they might come back with revisions. Or they might do a live directed session where it's just you and the director and the team directing you. So it's quite a special opportunity to be all around the world in like different time zones on one call, where you can feel the chemistry between the characters, you can feel the reactions. I think for audio dramas, because it's a voice actor's medium and you don't have any, usually, apart from this project, you don't usually have any visuals helping you. It's just everything is going into the listener's ears. And so you can hear, if characters are not on the same wavelength, you can hear like, wow, one character had a really big reaction and was angry and sad, and the other character was kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry for you, and you can feel this disconnect. So yeah, for audio dramas, I feel like you do need to have full cast so that there is this chemistry and relationship building and you're in the same world. And so I think Keiko does a great job. And also I've worked with some pretty gnarly directors, I'm sure we all have, who are just,
We're
but
not
Keiko's
saying who
like-
those were, though. That's total non-disclosure.
I honestly, I can't even remember. I can't even remember who those people are, but I know I have worked with them. But Keiko's so lovely. Like, she's so lovely. She's so kind and lovely. And some people might think that that doesn't get a good performance. Sometimes you have to, like, hammer a good performance out of people. But I think encouragement and kindness always brings the best out. And I love that she's got enough direction to sort of tweak it to the point where she wants it. But I think she trusts us, and she trusts her own casting, that if you hire really good people, there won't be huge amounts of direction, and you kind of just put a bunch of voice actors in the same room and let them flow and let them fly and let them trust their instincts. And so I feel like she trusts us, and because she's so kind, we can trust her. And hopefully the proof is in the pudding, and that people can hear that, especially the chemistry, Yeah.
I would like to add the technical aspect, because I have a technical background. This is Minny, by the way. So everybody here, like in the cast, has really good sound in their booth. And I know that Rich kind of sounds a little watery in this.
Is that the word, wonky?
But he has a really beautiful, expensive mic in front of him that's not working currently.
I've listened to Rich, a few clips of Rich. I went to this website, I believe. Amazing voice. Let me make sure I say that. Your voice is amazing.
Quality, and so technically, if you want to audition and be part of something like this, you need to have a sound treated space that has low room tone, low noise, and also a really good quality microphone that can compete with everybody else in the cast, so that you have a seamless performance. Because if you have one person that's set up as a little bit not so good, but their acting is good, it throws off the whole performance. So definitely, if you want to be something like this, you have to be sort of at a high level of your studio and your acting. What?
Just to add on to what she said about, like, when one person would have less quality setup, it would kind of, like, you would be able to tell it was through a video call, and with what we have, we were rewatching the episode, and I was like, while we were watching it, I was thinking, wow, it really sounds like we were in the same room, like talking into the same microphone.
Yeah. And we record locally too. So we're not recording on something else. We record on our own computer, and then we send her the file from our house to her. So we're not recording like on another platform or anything. We record on our own, and then we send it to her.
Wait, so everybody records the same, I'm just going to say the same recording at the same time, basically.
The session. We all record the session. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes perfect sense. I never thought about that. Okay. And
yeah, I love doing as a cast, because then you bounce off each other so much more than if you're just standing in your room trying to pretend that you're talking to this person. So being together is just an amazing thing.
yeah, I wondered if it would work that way, because I'm sure, like, obviously it's probably more fun that way. If you guys are, because it's almost like you probably feel like you're embodying the character more. It's not just like you're like, let me read this line. Okay, I'm gonna send this. Okay, she's gonna piece it all together. Okay, now it's working. It's like, no, I mean, that makes sense. Okay.
And we're learning about our characters because, for instance, when I hope that everybody here has gone out and watched episode 1 of Cerulean Summer. But plug.
Well, actually, what we're gonna do after this, after this question, we're gonna go ahead and actually play the trailer to it. So for those of who haven't seen it, we're gonna play that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we'll keep going after that.
Awesome. Okay, so stick around. If you're starting to get a little drowsy, just perk up, because you're gonna want to be here for the next part. So there was a time when Trace was in distress, and I was rescuing him, and I was acting like all panicked and freaked out, and Keiko basically in the second, she let me be like that. She let me do whatever I want to do, and then the next time she says, Melissa, Minny is more competent than that. She was good at rescuing people, so she would probably be calmer, like, it's good, I got you, I'm coming. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that that character would be calmer in a situation that I personally, as Melissa Del Toro, would not be calm. So, what is it?
Okay. Well, I think that we've probably heard, a lot about the project so far, but I think I've kept people waiting a little bit on edge, just a little bit too long. So we're gonna go ahead and play the trailer. This is like the halfway point of our show, but at the same time, before we go to the halfway point, we're gonna play this trailer. So just hang tight, guys. We'll see you in a minute.
Let me ask you a question. Just between you and me. What do you cherish most in your life?
From MLA Entertainment.
There it is, Minny. Cerulean's been waiting for you.
And it hasn't changed a bit.
It's exactly how I remember it.
Comes an original audio series.
I'm Minny, by the way.
Trace, nice to meet you, Minny. Maybe we could be friends then. For the summer, I mean.
Making friends already, huh?
Oh, that's Minny for you.
Minny, my son may look healthy and strong on the outside, but he's not.
It's Trace. You have to save him.
I can't stay up!
Hold on! I'm coming to you!
A story about friendship and the magic of summers past.
What you did was brave and selfless. Thank you.
Minny, let's be friends.
Let's make this a summer we'll never forget.
Cerulean Summer. Premieres September 25th.
So good. So good. So good.
So good.
Welcome back, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed that trailer. So, of course, we're in
Watching that trailer is such an experience. After already watching the episode and like being there for the process of making it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely impressed with the quality of it. I think it's very well made. It gets me excited, and it's funny because I personally have never really been like. I've only recently kind of heard. I've never actually listened through like entire audio dramas, but I've started to kind of get more interested in them more recently. So it's funny, like with this opportunity for me to be able to, for example, talk to you guys about, Cerulean Summer and being able to learn more about this. It's very interesting what goes into the process of making them. What is the most challenging, difficult thing that you guys have had to do working on this project specifically?
I cannot think of one thing that's been difficult. The communication's great.
I can think of something like with the recording. That's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
What are you thinking? Here, tell me.
Go ahead and mute the mic.
You guys.
Say it into the mic.
Okay.
While they're chatting, I will say, maybe similar to Indy. I don't usually read scripts through when I do my jobs. I don't know. It's lazy. It's very lazy of me, but I just go with the flow. So this is like Chloe's confession time. But I didn't read the script before we went into our session, and then we were getting up to sort of Sandra's lines, and I said that she obviously was distressed and started shouting, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm vocally tired. Do I have this in me? I was pretty vocally fatigued when we had our recording session.
But that was perfect for you because you were a nurse and you're tired at the end of the day, and then you're coming. So it was so authentic. And personally, I read your part for you. Just overachiever. I already read your part for you, so you don't have to read your part.
Anyway,
But it was.
She told me, and it's
I
okay.
have an idea.
Good.
I gave her the green light. Sorry.
So basically, I'm not going to spoil too much, but we already recorded episode 2. And in episode 2, I have a few of lines where I have to yell. and it's a little bit hard because I have a kind of high voice and I have to go a little bit higher for Charlotte. So yelling is like I don't want to be too loud, so I have to redo the lines even more. But also, just naturally, my voice kind of squeaks when I yell, so it's just a little bit hard because I don't want to go above the line, but I can't really help it if I do, because I just kind of have a high and squeaky voice.
So, actually, that brings up something. So, obviously, everybody seems like they have soundproofing in their booth. Like, you guys all have soundproofing. Like, what does your setup look like, or what do you think someone who's interested in doing voice acting, they need to have to do what you guys do in their setup?
A microphone and a dream. That's it.
I love that.
I'm sure when we all started out, we didn't have all this fancy stuff, right? I'm sure, because at least for me, talking from my personal experience, it was me with my, $50 laptop in my actual closet, not even a walk-in, just like a sliding door closet, and casting call club. And that was 7 years ago. And then learning from there how to build a booth, failing very poorly the first time, doing okay on the second time, and then finally going to the nice purple that you see with a very efficient monitor setup. Because you kind of, as you continue to learn and grow and experience, you kind of figure out what works best for you in terms of how you read scripts or how where your microphone should be. Our microphones are probably very, very different in terms of location. Just in terms of what works best for you, have the option to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you guys have like the high-end microphones. I used to think having this was like, oh yeah, I'm really doing it. It's like a Blue Yeti, and I'm sure it's not. It's probably the cheapest that you could probably get and getting something decent, but I thought it looked cool. One of my buddies, he ended up having one of those. But I have to say, Chloe, your setup, as soon as I saw it, I was like, dang, that setup is dope. I love that setup.
I will say, a lot of people ask, what is the first sort of setup? And I think because voice acting is really quite hard, and there's sort of this there's a quality difference in a lot of people's setups. Some people do really well with a USB microphone and a closet of clothes, and then some people, it's like the price range is so diverse of what you can invest in it. And because it's such a challenging kind of career to go into, especially the rejection side of it and pouring your heart out into auditions and being told no 99% of the time, I like to tell people, get classes, keep going for a year, and before you invest big bucks, before you get a $2,000 Sennheiser, or it's $2,000 in New Zealand, even though it's probably $1,000 in America, before you spend thousands of dollars on a microphone and set up, just get the good quality basics, a $200 microphone or something, and do the best you can and keep pursuing it until, and if you feel like, oh, I just can't do this, don't go further. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry for this, your tenacity grows, your resilience grows, your passion and hunger grows, then I would say don't hold back on investing in quality. I was scrimped and saved for my equipment because I wanted to get good. And my beautiful father, God bless that man, built me like a $100,000 recording studio, and then I got the studio bricks inside that recording studio and a $10 Temu sign at the back. So, there is a, just your level of investment in this is, I think, equates to the level of financial investment as well, and it's different for everyone.
Yeah. I think also your acting is more important than your setup. I hate to say that because they're both important, but a lot of people are just, they're talking with a voice that they think everybody, a cool voice, but the voice is not as important as your acting chops. So it's not you listening to how you sound. you know, that's not going to get you competitive. It's going to be you embodying the character. Who is this person that you are talking as? And then you add the voice on top of it, and then it's something pretty special.
Like you could have a handheld microphone, like one of those like mini microphones that like you see some YouTubers have, like that they just kind of talk into.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
Like that
about.
you hold with you could have one of those and your acting could still be good because like you know what character you're doing and you know how they would like be in the situation.
So it's acting, for sure. It's acting. If that's the one thing you take away is take
It's-
improv classes, take acting classes before you even try to compete, and don't even worry.
I
Just
mean,
grow your equipment, you know, as you can.
As says the name, you act with your voice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
you just kind of have to like do what the character is.
Also, I think it's quite hard in this day and age, not to put a damper on anyone, but it's hard because AI is getting so good. It's harder to be in the entry level stage because, you know, it's hard for people to take a chance on someone who's struggling with this whole thing when AI is doing a scary job at emoting well, you know. And,
How did you read my mind?
Yeah,
I was
because it
literally
like-
gonna ask you about that. Like how is AI a challenge for you guys and what you're doing? Because like I know, so I work with a lot of artists because I'm a writer and that's kind of what we do. But like I can imagine like AI being like, you know, copying even the voice of popular people, you know.
I definitely think it's a challenge we're all going to have to face. But I think for me anyway, I just need to be so good that AI can't possibly do what I can do, you know. But that's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. And I'd hate to be and like coming into this industry now with like competing with really quite incredible AI. And yeah, so it's definitely going to be a challenge. I think going to classes and like networking is such a utilitarian word, but like, you know, getting to know people, letting them know you, being like getting out there so that people are like, I actually really want to work with those people. It's like you can be my life goal is to be a joy to work with. The guy who played Pinky and the Brain, Maurice LaMarche, said that a few years ago, and I'm like, that is my goal, to be a joy to work with. AI could be a pain to work with. Imagine trying to put into the program, no, I want this more sultry and I want this dynamic. And can you, you know, you could spend an hour trying to program the AI.
You have to know how to code to work with AI as voice actors.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's range that could have people overcome AI, you know, like if you have a range and you can do it, which I can imagine. So like when you guys are working, for example, like Blake, you know, doing the role of Trace, do you, at any point, were there any like, did you have to challenge yourself in any kind of way to maybe, you know, change your voice in any kind of way, maybe that you weren't used to, or no? Was it pretty, you know, standard for you, or did you essentially kind of use your normal voice, or how did you go about it?
Well, so the interesting thing about Trace is, without going into massive spoiler territory, it's not so much that the voice is hard, it's Trace's thinking and the way that he exists, or at least tries to in this world. That's the part that's hard. Because sure, you can say all these things, you can give a read for this, but without the context of what he's going through and adding everything that must have happened up until this point. I mean, he's, I believe, 16 in the story, but you can't tell an AI to sound like you're doing this, but be really emotional, and it won't give you the right read. Because in a sense, we're not too dissimilar. All directors are people who type in prompts. They just tell us what to do, but we do it better. That's it. That's simple as that.
Oh,
Well, if I
okay.
can add anything to that, I can't speak for everybody in the cast, but I know Chloe does some commercial stuff, and you know I do commercial stuff, and just in the past 6 months or so, I'm seeing auditions that they do, the the fatigue factor from people listening to commercials that are voiced by AI is getting higher and higher. And high-end clients that really want that authenticity and that connection, they're coming back to voice actors and kind of shying away. Now, e-learning, some of those phases, those genres, they're going to go with AI all day because it's cheap and easy. But for real connected spots, the ones that move you when you're watching TV or or streaming something and a spot comes on and you go like, wow, that was a powerful message. It wasn't voiced by AI. I will guarantee you. I mean, we've been doing this long enough. We're starting to be able to recognize each other when we hear that work on the air. And I go, oh, that's Marion. Oh, that was Chloe. Oh, that was Melissa. And you don't, aside from 2 or 3 AI voices, which have dominated that world, and in my humble opinion, are annoying. And I think you all know who they are. It's like, anymore, when I see something come on with that one particular voice, especially, it's like, nope, fast forward, click through, turn off, whatever, because it just fatigues you. It just wears you out.
One of the other things to add to what Rich is saying is that AI sometimes it's not intelligent. It doesn't know what it's reading. It's just vomiting words. So it doesn't really know what it's reading. So sometimes if you're trying to use the word record instead of record, or the same spelling but a different pronunciation, it will just pick one. And if it's right half the time and if it's wrong half the time, but that's when I have the moments like, oh yeah, this non-entity is trying to tell me what to do, or trying to entertain me. How you think you're going to entertain me? So it just adds like the people who put this together must be really cheap. But that's kind of my attitude coming into the picture. Just I hear one wrong thing and I'm already having attitude. So I don't know how other people handle it, but.
And also with AI, sometimes something that AI does is it's kind of tone deaf. Like it'll be reading through something and then you can it'll be like a moment where it's supposed to be screaming or like yelling, and the AI is like with this monotone, like, oh no, this is terrible.
Oh no,
the random pauses.
Random pauses, yeah.
Random pauses are what really get me.
I know AI is here to stay, but I'm hoping that eventually, after the AI fate, like the craze kind of really, really calms down, that it just becomes like a tool similar to like spell check or auto tune or something like that, where it's there to you can kind of have it age you a little bit, but it's not the whole thing. Like, maybe I'm going to say something controversial, but I never like it if someone's singing in complete auto tune, but I don't mind if you use it to kind of help you a little bit.
Coexisting.
Yeah, exactly. It should be a tool, don't have the tool work for you. Essentially, unless you're using it kind of like, I don't know, it depends, but that's neither here nor there. But in any case, kind of centering more on, what each of you guys have done. Some of you guys have done commercials. You guys have done things for video games. It's been a whole range of things. When you guys have been at this for a while, what is what keeps you interested in continuing to develop your craft and making it more of a challenge for yourself in a fun way?
The coolest thing about voiceover is anything is possible. Today I could be voicing a ill boy who lives in a seaside town, but tomorrow I could be voicing a talking wolf who has a little fuzzy companion who rides with him along his journey, or I could be voicing any number of things. You just don't know what you're going to work on next, and that to me is the most exciting part of it.
That's so
true. I also agree. Like I could be an American, scary, dummy mommy and in a seaside town in a pretty slick modern house, or I could be yeah, in a video, I'm a lead in a video game, and she's like this northern northern Yorkshire Amazonian warrior, and yeah, you just never know. That's path of exile, but you just never know what's going to come across your path, and there's definitely challenges.
Yeah, the best part is you get to play pretend, and I fully realize that adults are really boring when they stop playing.
It's true.
Yeah.
We are not boring people.
The people in the back, I feel like, I love to laugh and play, so when you're saying that, I'm like, that sings to me.
Yes.
Totally.
Pretend you're some demon monster on Mars and get a scary voice like that or something, just
totally
do it.
Totally.
It's fun.
And the number of genres that is out there is astounding. You have audiobooks, not only this audio drama audiobooks, but you have video games, you have commercials, you have promos, trailers, documentaries. Tell me if I'm missing e-learning. There's so many different ways, and all of those ways you're a character, even in commercial voiceover, you're a character of some sort. So refining your acting and your character abilities, like what we do in Cerulean Summer, is valuable in every aspect of voiceover.
And also, when you get to play a character, for example, the one I'm playing, my character Charlotte, you get to know them. You get to know things about them, their backstory, and it's just really fun to I know, I haven't been voice acting for more than this, honestly, but it's just really fun to, be able to get to know the character that I'm playing and, understand, their ethics and, who they are.
Yeah.
You learn to be in somebody else's shoes. Yeah. You learn empathy.
So important these days.
Okay. Now, here's a question that has to do a little bit more with just the pure aspect of working voice acting professionally. I'm not sure how familiar you guys may be with the Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, but if you guys are familiar with it, or if any of you are familiar with it, for people who may be aspiring voice actors, is that something that they may have to do and get involved with, or join, just like how someone might have to join the Writers Guild or something like that to do voice acting, similar with acting, or is that not a necessity in order to become a voice actor professionally?
Eventually, but not. I've been doing this for 7 years. I haven't felt a need to join it yet. I probably won't for a bit too. Because there's so many free places that you can find casting calls. This, for example, we all found this on Twitter. There are, I can think of 4 off the top of my head, free spots where you can just get started and not have to worry about any of the other more serious aspects of the work. You don't need to worry about business stuff. You just need to do it first. SAG-AFTRA is more for those union projects. I think Resident Evil, the bigger, more, not professionally, but the bigger budget stuff.
Yeah. And also just to add to what Blake is saying, when you work, what we're doing is non-union. So there's non-union and then there's union work. And when you are doing non-union work, it's great. You get paid in your own business and everything. But with unions come legal protection, come resources and collective bargaining and all kinds of other protections. As a worker comes, insurance and all kinds of other things that, quote unquote, grown-ups like to have for their families. However, you don't have to go in any direction in this field. It's up to you and your comfort level. And also you have to qualify to join SAG-AFTRA. You can't just join it. You have to make a certain amount of money per year, and you also, so there's a lot of nuances. There's also things called FICOR and different other ways of having your cake and eating it too, or whatever. But I just want to make the point that if you do this work, you always run the risk of being taken advantage of. So at the very least in non-union, you want to be part of a community, some professional community that you can reach out if somebody's not paying you, or if somebody fed your voice to AI and now they're just using your voice for free without your consent and making it say really gross things. Or so you need to be mindful as a person that yes, you can do whatever you want and you can enter and play, and that's important. But also, if you want to continue in this field, you need to have protections, because if somebody finds out that your voice was lifted in somewhere else, you might lose opportunities to do really big campaigns for really high paying clients, like brand names. So you just have to kind of think about all that. But in the beginning, you don't have to think about that. But as you do it, like the rest of us have been doing it for a while, that's a way to grow. And, if you want to do Pixar and Disney and all that kind of stuff, it's possible, but those are all union gigs. And the way that we're going now with AI and independent things, I don't even know what's coming down the line, but protections are so important. NAVA, the National Association for Voice Actors, they are a really great organization to follow and or join if you're looking for, collective community and sort of protections in this industry.
And I'll say as well, like, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Chloe.
I was going to say that I am in New Zealand, so joining the union it's one of those things that you want but you don't want. Like I obviously couldn't, wouldn't benefit from the health insurance and that kind of thing being in New Zealand, but I so badly want to access the union jobs, the World of Warcrafts and all these big things, so it's it's a gate-kept, there's a gatekeeping aspect to it. The next gatekeeping thing is often they want LA local or New York local and in studio. So there's so many barriers. I think as a voice actor you've got to get used to barrier after barrier after barrier after barrier to the opportunities you want to reach. And it does come down to a lot of tenacity. You can make a flourishing career without the union, totally. And it does take, they say if you want to get into the big time as well, like if I wanted to get into the union, which I do, I have to know that I'm competing with a huge, like a caliber of voice actors that is, pretty high. So they say that it takes 20 years to become an overnight success, and there's just a glutted market of voice actors. Like there are so many millions and millions and millions of us competing for such a small amount of jobs. And so I think even getting the opportunity to see a union audition come your way is a rare opportunity, and it will take hundreds and hundreds of auditions of those to eventually book, because the booking ratio for voice actors, it's a numbers game, 1 in every 100, or if you're lucky, less, that kind of thing. So, so there are barriers. Rich, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I was going to touch on the NAVA thing as well, and Chloe, you kind of touched on some of the direction I was going, but I have representation all around the country, and I probably get 2, maybe 3 auditions a week that are union, but I live in Idaho, and Idaho is a right to work state, so I can audition for them, and if I happen to be the one that they like, there's a thing called the Taft-Hartley Act, and you can get those jobs under the Taft-Hartley Act. You can only do it once or twice, and then you have to join the union after that. But just the fact that you get your foot in the door that way, that's something to think about as well. I'm with Chloe. I do pretty well non-union, and so I'm not in any rush. It's expensive to join the union. It's expensive, and I'm not in any real rush. Obviously, if the opportunity came along and I was able to do it, I probably would do it for all the reasons that Melissa talked about: the protection, the insurance, the health benefits, not only for me but for my wife. Those kind of benefits are there where I don't have them right now because I am non-union. But I also get a lot of work that is non-union, and I do okay. You know, I'm not getting filthy rich by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm doing okay.
Okay, so I have two last questions to ask you. One specific to Cerulean Summer, and then the last one's going to be a personal, not really that personal, but personal in just terms of your guys' careers on what you guys want. So I'll start with the Cerulean Summer one, of course. So when it comes to Cerulean Summer, and obviously with this project being brand new coming out, you guys have already done a couple episodes with it, you know, that I'm sure a lot of people are listening to or are going to listen to after this. What medium would you guys like to see this translate into? Do you want it to stay just an audio drama, or could you guys see this evolving into maybe becoming an animation or something completely different? And if it did, would you guys want to also voice act the characters in a further capacity?
I mean, it's already so like similar to a Ghibli movie. Why not make it in that style? I feel like that'd be incredible.
So there was recently a press release that Keiko put out that I've been also farming around, that one of the people that watched our Cerulean Summer said that it reminded them of American anime, which I thought was so fantastic. What a great way to describe it, because we are used to sort of, like you said, the Naruto kind of the drawing style, but the drawing style for Cerulean Summer is so very sort of American in a sense, how the characters look, but it's very, you know, hearkening back to Studio Ghibli or, you know, things like that. So I would love to see us have a budget to make it like for real animation, like American anime style. That would be like the ultimate, like get a Kickstarter going or a GoFundMe. But and the second question is, I would love to continue to develop my character. I know all of us are developing the character to become what the audience falls in love with. So why not continue that, you know? Why not continue that growth? So that's my answer. But
honestly, I would love to see this become an animation, especially because I myself, my whole life, have been really like into art. I've loved crafting, like, and honestly, in the future, if this were to become an animation in the future,
you'd animate it.
I would be. Yeah. Wait, I was actually drawing something before this started. I can show you.
She draws like really well. Like, well, that's a sketch, but yeah, she's pretty good.
Okay. This is the show for it.
Yeah, she wants to be an animator.
I was just sketching something out. It's not like that good, but
she was. I don't know.
That's what.
Oh wow!
Oh god!
Wow!
Oh my god!
You're already drawing in shapes. That's important.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I started like before we started recording.
Wow.
Nice.
I would say a lot of audio dramas actually all audio dramas that I listen to are audio dramas. It's audio only. And so today when I was watching episode 1, I just think it would be a real mistake, and it would dishonor the story to only listen to it in your ears. Like, it would just be a much less colorful and amazing and heart-moving experience. So I think when we talk about the mediums of this, definitely anyone out there, please watch it on YouTube. Please have the visuals. And in this day of AI artwork, it's not AI artwork. It's got so much heart and soul, and it's got just, you know, it's a unique kind of artwork that marries the audio so well, and it's really beautiful. So please marry the visuals with the audio, and you'll get the full experience. And I'm a big anime watcher. I'm a big Japanese anime watcher, and I do love the fact that this is like American anime, not just for kids, but like for teens and adults. Like, it's not pitched low, it's pitched broad. So I think for, you know, across the ages, this would be such an amazing animation, like an American anime to watch. So all the things, I don't know, a game, a mobile phone game, I don't know, everything.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to say?
They said it all for me. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I would love to see it be a full-on animation. I grew up watching the Looney Tunes cartoons, and Mel Blanc doing all the voices and laughing, gut laughs at Yosemite Sam and the Roadrunner and the Coyote and Bugs Bunny. And so to play a part in something that would make somebody else feel that way down the road, maybe long after I'm gone, that'd be pretty dang cool.
Okay. All right, here's my final question. It's our traditional question is when I ask all the guests, although like I said, this time it's going to be a little bit different because it's all of you guys answering this, and you can answer it individually if you'd like. What is your end game? So I know that's going to vary for everybody. So I'm talking like Thanos, but I mean for your career. Like, what is your end game? How do you, at the end of your career, how do you want your career to go, professionally with voice acting, or we can even extend it to just creatively, even if it doesn't just you don't just want to stay in voice acting. If you want to expand to other things, how do you see your creative endeavors going, and how would you like for it to turn out? What does that look like to you?
Personally, I think you might already know what I'm going to say based on what I said last time. I would love to become a professional artist and or animator. And even if that doesn't happen, like just art or just animation, I would love to like do something with the creative process, whether that's like pottery or like commissions. I would love to go into that professionally in the future. And it would be really fun to explore, like, how does this go down? Like, what happens to, like, for example, like, how do you make and, like, sell the posters that this person has up on their wall?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that out.
Like, how did that happen? Like, what went into it?
Yeah.
It's just like fun to think about the experience that goes into it and what comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone else on their end game, their dreams, how they see everything going, or how they want everything to go?
Well, for myself, I started voice acting about 7 years ago, full time. I was dabbling before that. We all know the dabbling part. Like, you buy the microphone, it sits in your room for 5 years. You buy, whatever. My end game, I started voiceover because I wanted to be a voice in a Pixar movie. That's just, I don't know why. That's what I said. I said it. I put it on a piece of paper.
She's been saying.
Yeah. It may or may not happen. It may or may not be Pixar. I mean, everybody.
Let's say it's gonna be Pixar, and I'm happy that I'm interviewing right now because
it'd be amazing. I mean,
I'm gonna be like, hey.
And I could book until I can book from a child voice to a grandma voice, and I was a grandma in an Eggland's Best commercial recently. So Caden, you're not alone. I'm booking grandmas too. But I think if that happened, it would be amazing. But I feel like I've already achieved what it was I wanted, because what I wanted to prove to myself is that I could pivot from an engineering career to voice acting. And that was such an impossible pivot, in my opinion, because I felt like I was concreted into, that first decision I made when I was 17 years young. But having pivoted in the second anthem chapter of my life to my dream career, I kind of feel like yes. And then being able to inspire my daughter, being able to inspire Indy. I almost called her Charlotte.
How good of an actor she is.
You had me.
to not conform to the old thing where you have to go and hate work and just make money and pay bills and die. Like, that's not what we're doing anymore. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to find something that we can contribute to society, that we love, that we can vibe high, and that we can, make a positive difference. Like, that's what we're doing. And if that's art, if that's engineering, that's what it is,
And even for me, like, I know I already said, but even if that doesn't work out, even if I can't become an artist in the future, even if I have to have like a basic job, like I'd be fine working at like a grocery store. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I've always like liked the idea of like just working in like a convenience store or something.
So those online games.
No, it's but just like even that, I'd be fine with that because like I don't hate working. Like sometimes I go online and look up like on YouTube or like Roblox job simulator or something.
Job simulator.
Because I like the idea of like having something you do that you love and like getting paid for it. Like that's
good.
Just
Money
the
is good.
idea. Like
And you know, I think I sort of to bounce off that, the whole thing of like giving back, I think sometimes acting, I definitely dabbled for the last, I went to drama school 11 years ago, 12 years ago to pursue like on-screen acting, and that never ever took off for me. So I started kind of more dabbling with voiceover in 4 years ago and bought my very first microphone like, you know, 3.5 years ago, and I've been doing full-time voiceover for 3 years. And sometimes there's this thing I've wrestled with of going, this is so selfish. This is such a selfish industry. This is so selfish. Why am I doing this? Like my parents didn't raise me to be selfish. And then I'm going like, actually, there can be, depending on where your heart is at, it can be a very, very generous, giving industry to be in. But it really is all about the individual human heart behind it, the motivations. Am I doing it out of insecurity and neediness because I want applause and I want to be seen and have, you know, adulation, and or am I doing this because I really want to get into the sort of the human condition and help tell stories that need to be told that other people can't tell, and they need to know that they're not alone, and there's, you know, many things for that. I think for me, the end game, and it's such a good question, really it is, I think all of us need to have an end game to focus us. And I think for me, it could be simply the baseline is I just want to work. I don't have to be famous or rich. I just want to be a working voice actor, please. But then, of course, I want more. Of course, I'm actually aiming for the you know, like I want to voice a Final Fantasy character. And someone said to me recently, any character, like there's lots of little NPCs. And I was like, yeah, but I'd also really like a lead character. I don't want the apex of my career to be an NPC in Final Fantasy. You know, I want a juicy role. And also, you know, I'd love to financially support my parents. I'm a 32-year-old single woman living as a neighbor to my parents, and I'd love to support them as they're getting older, and I'd love to financially carry them so that they can rest and relax in their old age. And I also think I'd like to, you know, travel to the conferences and share. You know, there's a part of, I think all of us, we've got so much to give, so much to share, and we would be doing an injustice, I think, to our own careers if we kind of stayed in our booth just earning money and doing the fun thing. And that's great. But I think for me, I'm like, sometimes it just can't be that. It can't be getting fun roles and getting paid and just kind of looping that cycle. Like there's a point where humans were built to love and give back and to be loved and to love. And there's this sort of this, you know, inflow, overflow, outflow, you know? So yeah, I think there's got to be a giving back portion. Yeah.
For me,
if I was going to add anything there, it would be like, you know, I'm the oldest member in the cast. I know that I have fewer days ahead of me than I have behind me. So my end game is not that far down the road. It's just fact of life. I've been behind a microphone most of my adult life because I had a long career in broadcast radio. And that taught me one thing, which was to be comfortable behind the mic and be used to talking basically to myself in a room for 4 hours a day. Or, you know, now it's funny, now that I'm in voice acting, I'm in the booth talking to myself probably 6 to 8 hours a day. But when I left radio, I thought, well, I've been behind the mic my whole life, so I should just be able to jump right over into voice acting. And boy, did I get a rude awakening really fast, because the radio, you know, it's all about being, you know, you got to hit that post. You got to lay down that ray, you know, hey, you know, good morning at 6:15, sunny and 75 today. Here's the latest from Tim McGraw on Big Country 104, whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. And if you try to do that in voice acting now, you get this. It's like,
Yeah.
Too announcery.
so
You're
I
too
had to really
announcery.
learn how to reinvent myself. And I had some wonderful help by several great coaches. And also, like Chloe said, going to conferences and being able to get FaceTime with people like Dave Fenoy and Joe Cipriano and Melissa Disney, and people that we all hear almost every day in our daily routines. We just don't know who they are. And Dave Fenoy and Joe Cipriano both came from radio, and kind of walked me through the process that they went through, and I've kind of followed up on that. And to come full circle and say my end game, it's like Chloe. I just want to work, and I've learned working with these great coaches, Tina Marasco, J. Michael Collins, and not to be dropping names, but they've all taught me something different. And what I've learned is, when somebody tells you have a great voice, you should go into voiceover. Well, that's great. A great voice is great, but guess what? I have a pen here. It's a really nice pen. It's a great pen. It works great. I'm not a great writer. So you have got to have confidence in the way you sound naturally, and it doesn't have to be this big booming voice of God thing. For me, the roles that really speak to me and that I've learned how to start settling into are the calm, weathered, seasoned, gritty, experienced storyteller. That's where my wheelhouse is. And if you've heard any of my work or seen my stuff, you'll see that that's what I'm booking more and more of, and getting away from, it's Ford Fiesta month, come on down, So I can still do that, but that throws me right back to that, not a real person. And so my end game is to be a real person and work, like Chloe said.
Okay. And Blake, I believe you're going to say something.
Oh, for sure. My end goal, I have a spot in mind, and I'm not sure if anyone else here is a fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I have a little Jodio Joestar from Part 9, whenever it's animated. I want to be his dub actor so bad. Oh my gosh.
Go for it.
It is such a goal of mine. That, along with Chloe Final Fantasy. Would love to be in a Final Fantasy game with you.
Yes.
Just all
Manifest
those really
it.
cool big, yes, manifesting. All those really, really cool big Union series.
Well, there might
Yeah.
come a day and age where someone's like, man, I really want to be in Cerulean Summer so bad. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, let's
Sure.
Yes.
Caden, what's your end game? We haven't heard yours.
Oh gosh. Bit about the background, as Rich was saying. I didn't get involved really in acting until I was like 40. I mean, I always loved the idea of it, but I just started with community theater and then just worked my way through, and then learned about other aspects of it. And during that pandemic thing that happened, that's when I started really getting into actual play TTRPGs, like Dungeons and Dragons and all that. So that added so much more to my acting experience. And also spending 20 summers at the Bristol Renaissance Fair, where you're in a character all flippin' day. You learn how to, get yourself in character and get yourself back and all that. And that helps so much with my voice acting, that probably, again, like others, about 7 years ago, I started getting into. And with all the background of mostly the TTRPGs, I would die to have a voice in like World of Warcraft or part of the Critical Role animated series. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Campaign
Yes.
4.
I've been a critter as long as I can remember, and that's the dream. But yeah, just being able to have opportunities to play. That's really all that's important to me.
Yeah.
And money.
And there's so many opportunities that a lot of people don't even realize are out there for voice actors. I mean, believe it or not, I'm the voice of several online slot games for a company called Play and Go. I've been Hercules. I've been an old wizard. I've been a pirate, for crying out loud. You know, those opportunities are out there. Do they pay a ton? No, but you know what? The experience and adding it to your resume looks good. And again, you don't have to sound like Don LaFontaine or James Earl Jones or Sam Elliott, or you have to learn how to be you and connect with the copy.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Be you, but someone else at the same time.
And the other thing, just I guess to sort of round it out, because I know that you had those two questions. Don't be afraid to create your own opportunities. If you don't see it out there, just make it. If you're not getting the role that you want, then just make it. Like, find an animator or find somebody who does that, and team up. Like this audio drama, like we found each other and we're creating something. We didn't know that we even wanted to be on this, like you had said before. So find somebody who animates and give their animations a voice, or write your own screenplay and build it out. I mean, we have the tools nowadays, and just go for it. If you don't see it out there, then just become what you want to see. That's my best
Basically,
advice.
Do it yourself if nobody's doing it for you.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming on today, and I especially want to thank Keiko too for putting this all together. I think we should all give her a round of applause right now. Now, with that being said, this is the part where I want to know if everybody wants to throw in their plugs, where we can find you all, if you guys have social media handles that you want to be found at, or if you guys have a project or something you want to highlight, here's your chance right now to go ahead and highlight it. So whoever wants to go first, by all means.
I'll go first because mine is simple. I'm mostly just on Twitter at Magdalene Bloom. That used to be my Ren Fair character. That's it. And if you have any TTRPGs that you need a player for, yeah, I'm ready. My dice are getting cold right now, so they want to warm up.
Pretty much everything I have, my website, my online presence, social media, is all tied back to Rich Summers VO. If you Google Rich Summers VO, most everything comes up. So.
Yeah, I was happy to see that you you've even had Tractor Supply. Yeah, that's what it is. Tractor Supply as a client before. I love that just because I go there for my dog, to get dog food. So I was like, oh,
life's better out here.
I think for me, you could Google Chloë Elmore and find, I think my Instagram and Twitter and things are reasonably, or chloevoices.com. I wish I had like consistent branding. Sometimes I'm Chloë Voices and then sometimes I'm Chloë Elmore. But yeah, just Google Chloë Elmore, and yeah, I think I'm trying to be active across LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook equally. But I like Instagram as my sort of my go-to, sort of gels with me. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Chloë Elmore, put it out there into the universe.
All right,
and then for me, pretty much anything Blake Cogdill VA, Blake Cogdill voiceover, Blake Cogdill voice acting, anything there. I was recently in a video game called Urbano Legends Debut, which is a rhythm game RPG. Definitely check it out on Steam. The demo's out. Also, check out Cerulean Summer. What are you doing? Yes! We're all here for it. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
And then I guess mine is Melissa Del Toro VO. Melissa Del Toro _VO on Instagram. Like Chloe, Instagram is my kind of go-to. But if you look for Melissa Del Toro Schaffner, Those 3 words will get you right to all my stuff, my website, and all of my socials, LinkedIn, da-da-da-da-da. I'm on everything but Twitter. So, yeah. And Indy's attached to me. So if you're looking for a kid VO, you come to me
Or a
first.
really amazing artist.
Or
An
a really amazing artist/animator.
All right. Well, thank you all for, coming on today. Just really quick, just have 2 quick announcements for our guests. And if you guys can just hang tight just for a quick second, before we head on out, we have our podcast show, by our sister podcast, the Honeycomb Hideout. If you like Howard Stern's, like Howard Stern for Geeks, something that you guys definitely want to check out. We talk about controversial issues, talk about the industry, comics, animation, you name it, all on this show. Joe Kane and Christine Kitchens take care of that. And we even have a little science minute that we do in this show. So make sure you check that out. Also, for our anthology series, Origami Super Punch, which is a manga anthology all by a collective of different creators across the globe. You want to make sure you guys check that out. We have manga on there that are battle rap manga that I do. We have romance stories. We have stories that talk about mental health, and we even have a supernatural crime drama all in here. It is now available on Indie Planet. You can check that out. You can buy it anywhere across the globe if you would like it. We will have a link down to that down below as well when you guys check this out. So make sure you be on the lookout for that. And within the next 2 weeks, we will have another Shining Spotlight episode for you guys to check out. So again, I want to thank the cast and crew right now for coming on the show. And make sure you guys go to support them on all their social media links that they gave out. With that being said, thank you for everybody's time today. We're going to go ahead and close out, and everyone have a wonderful day. And you guys just stay on just for a second before you head out. But everybody else, have a wonderful day.
Thanks.